On April 1st, 2021, I ditched a career I absolutely hated to better myself and do the things I've always wanted to do. And that included my growing love and obsession with Ireland. I want to learn everything: culture, history, mythology, music, and the language. Which, if I'm being honest, looks really hard to learn, but I'm going to give it the old Smith try. Then, of course, there is my love of pubs and the role that they've played throughout history, and no better example of that than on that beautiful, beleaguered island in the North Atlantic, Ireland. April 1st, 2026, I depart for the Emerald Isle, and for 1 year, I'll hike town by town and conduct interviews with pub owners, pub regulars, historians, town know-it-alls, musicians, and basically anybody that wants to talk to me. If you'd like to support the project and the journey, basic Patreon support is only $3 a month, but just liking a video or subscribing to the channel and following the journey is just as helpful. I'm always looking for volunteers to work as liaisons for the project too, so if you live in Ireland and know people, feel free to hit me up. This is a huge goal and I need all the help I can get. The Smitty Learns Irish Pubcast begins April 26th and will be my life's work. Thank you.
Hey, let's check something different out on this podcast. I'm going to start introducing things like that since I am going to Ireland in 2026 and going to be hiking the island for 1 year to tell the story of Irish history town by town in pubs. But I don't know anything about hiking in Ireland. I am a hiker. I was an infantryman. I know I can walk. I know those things, but I plan on hiking the country. But I don't know anything about like the trail system or anything like that. So I started following this dude called Derek Cullen. And we're going to start reacting to some things on here. He does an actual, I think he hikes the country. This one that we're going to check out first is hiking Ireland coast to coast. And it is so up my fucking alley and really just centric on kind of what I'm going to be doing. And I want to learn about these things. I'm going to include it in the podcast too. So I don't know, I don't want to do it every podcast, but maybe like on Mondays or something like that, we'll check out Ireland hiking with Derek Cullen maybe a little bit. See how it goes, you know, because this shit's super interesting to me. And then if I'm really interested, see if I hit this dude up for an interview in some way, shape, or form. But I think I'm actually going to stream this. Hopefully it doesn't get blocked or anything, any sort of copyright. But I am going to stream this right now. So let's do this, shall we? Hiking Ireland coast to coast, day 1. Fucking A.
Hello, you. Welcome to the video. Welcome back. Are you ready? I'm ready.
I'm ready.
This across the road is Holles Street Hospital, maternity hospital. And I thought, what better place to start my walk than the place where I first entered the world, where my energy first came into the world. So I was born in here on the 26th of April, 1982. My 2 brothers were also born in here, as was my sister-in-law and all 3 of my nephews. So this is where I'm gonna start the walk. Interestingly enough, I cleaned the windows in this building here when I was younger too, so I know the building very well and the area. Head good, body good, feet good, mind good, all good. Let's go. As we turn the corner, on my left is Merrion Square, and just ahead of me on the right hand side is where Oscar Wilde grew up. So Oscar Wilde's childhood home is just up here in the corner. Let's go take a look.
They in Dublin? I think they are, right?
So this house on the corner over here was where Oscar Wilde grew up in the second half of the 18th century. Oscar Wilde was a world famous playwright and poet, and he was said to be the first ever celebrity in the world, celebrity in the modern sense of the word. And that was because he was very flamboyant, very outspoken, very controversial with his ways of thinking and talking. And the thing I loved about him was that he was a non-conformist. So he didn't just go along with everyone else's thinking, and he came up with very unique ideas and thoughts, poems, etc., which are now celebrated today, not only here in Ireland but all around the world.
Okay, so that is Dublin. Whoa, close up.
Oscar.
Oh, I've seen pictures of that, and I was like, on like Facebook. It looks like Alan Rickman. He should have played Oscar Wilde while he was still alive. Huh. Ha! Ha! Great fucking line.
There are two pillars here beside the statue which feature lines, famous lines and quotes by Oscar Wilde. But I want to read something to you which really strikes a chord with me. With the abolition of private property, then we shall have true, beautiful, healthy individualism. Nobody will waste his life in accumulating things and the symbols of things. One will live. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all. This pyramid here, also
I'm
in
pretty
Merrion
sure
Square, which is where I am now.
because when I had my elliptical and I would put on TV in front of the elliptical and play YouTube videos of like virtual running through Ireland, I'm pretty sure I've ran through here before. Only virtually, but when you're super high, it's kind of like you're there.
Is a memorial for all of the defence forces that died during service for the state.
I love the cities,
Beautiful
but
buildings lining the road.
I really when I go over there, I really just can't wait to get to the small towns. I'm a small town dude. I love being in cities and spending time there, but I really can't wait to go check out the rural areas. Once you get inland and things get a little more rednecky. I don't know. Are there rednecks in Ireland?
Road. Even more beautiful with the sun lighting them up. I used to sit on, I think it was the second floor in this building. I did that for 3 years. I worked in Bank of Ireland Investments. I very much liked my job at the time. I was very good at it, and I saw my future in this here place. But after my parents passed away, which was around 15 years ago now, or more than that, I totally lost interest in my career and essentially began asking myself, is this the meaningful type of work I want to be doing with the rest of my life? And because I know this life ends, and I've seen it with my own eyes with my parents, perhaps I should be looking further afield than the desk in the window up here.
Seriously, that's so fucking crucial. That is exactly what happened to me when I decided to just leave my old life and just try out radio when I was 30 years old. I was working dead-end fucking jobs. My mom had a cancer scare, and I kind of had like a little mini nervous breakdown. It was just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I want to do what I want to do. And then I, at 30 years old, went and got into radio and found my thing. This kind of thing, So I really love that. And it shouldn't take the death of a parent or a cancer scare or something like that for you to just finally go like, hey, I need to do what I need to do, I need to do what I want to do. Fucking love that.
This is Patrick Kavanagh, a very famous poet to come out of Ireland. His work, his words, his poetry was said to have a transformative effect on culture. And one of the poems he wrote was about this exact spot where I'm sitting now. It's called Grand Canal Walk. But another of his probably more famous pieces of work was called Raglan Road. And this poem was then turned into a very famous song. Raglan Road is a poem about Patrick's doomed infatuation
Raglan
with
Road.
a girl by the name of Hilda Moriarty. We've all been there.
We're totally going to listen to Raglan Road after this.
So this is the road where Patrick Kavanagh first laid his eyes on Hilda Moriarty. And Hilda was the inspiration for his poem, Raglan Road. I just realised while trying to recite the poem to myself before this video that I can't recite the poem unless I sing it. And for anyone that knows the song,
If you're going to sing it,
if you try this right now, try to recite the words without singing it, it's very difficult, which means I'm going to have to sing it for you. So it goes like this.
Seriously, the way Irish people can just break into song, and like, I know songs, right? Most of them are rock and roll, but it's different. Just the very idea that Irish people just break into song every once in a while like it's a fucking musical is pretty awesome. I kind of adore it.
Something like this. On Raglan Road of an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day rue.
He's a stunner.
I saw the danger and I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day.
Is that a rib sandwich? Probably not. Look like sausages. Man. That's fun, a thing I can't wait to check out as well, because I've really only heard people either talk about how much they love corned beef and cabbage or shepherd's pie, or talk about how much Irish food sucks. So there's really no in between when I hear people talking about Irish food. But the more I learn and find out, the Tri Channel has helped a lot in just finding just what Irish cuisine is, and I don't know if Irish people would consider it cuisine. That's good. I don't know, but I can't fucking wait to try Irish food. That's the point of the story. Time to go.
Starting to feel the weight of the bag already, and disappointingly my legs, I suppose my legs are just not used to carrying this amount of weight.
I don't know, has he hiked much? Have you hiked much, Derek? That is the thing, being a hiker. But I just know that.
So it is early to be feeling that pain, but it is what it is. Just got to keep walking.
That pain
Right
stretches
now,
out
I'm gonna look
and
for a
limbers
cafe,
up soon.
not just to have coffee, but so that I can use their bathroom facilities. I stopped on the bridge back there to look at the apartments across the way. I was actually living in one of those apartments a couple of years back, and I often used to look across at this grass bank and think to myself, I should put my tent there some night. Just beyond as well is where my mother went to college. She went to a secretarial college. She learned to type and to write in shorthand there. She would eventually work as the secretary to Mr. O'Neill from O'Neill's. Anyone from Ireland will know O'Neill's, the sports company. So it seems wherever I go in this city and on this walk today, there's just all these different connections, and I'm sure it would be the same for you if you were to do this. And it's interesting to experience in first hand, because all these memories come flooding back, and it's not just nostalgia, it's something that helps you feel connected to the places you're walking through, something that helps you feel like you belong even.
Man, it's going to be a totally different like aspect for me when I'm going there, because I've started to learn about Irish history and music clearly, and a little bit of the Irish language, but I am learning things. I still have 2 years, so I'm hoping to soak up a lot more knowledge before I go. But being able to connect things is so fucking cool and key and crucial to really maximizing your enjoyment when you're going on a fucking trip, man. And really, when I talked to Claire Cullen from the Tri Channel, and she does just so many great like tour videos of Ireland and things like that, but I was just like talking to her about just the way history just seeps into everything is pretty fucking rad. Now I'm like, I want to just look on my phone and my map and just find where the Wicklow Way is. Is that a trail system, the Wicklow Way? I wonder. Oh my God. Man, I didn't think that I was going to. I didn't think that I was going to try to rough it and camp, but I really feel like I might, at least on a lot of instances. You know, I didn't really want to rough it. You know, I would rather try to focus on just staying comfortable so I can get things, be productive doing a fucking podcast. Is essentially why. But I think I might. You know, if I can find a really nice lightweight tent, and I know I can. The weight's not going to be an issue for me, but just because I think you can really set up camp anywhere you're hiking. I mean, there's no like private lands. I think they're all public lands. You got to be respectful to people's fucking areas, I'm sure. But you could pretty much set up anywhere, right? Man, I can't fucking wait. I'm wondering too if because he is hiking coast to coast, if it's kind of just a straight shot from Dublin, right? So the Wicklow Way, does that go like from east to west like that, or is he going up to the Wild Atlantic Way on the west coast? I'm learning this shit, you guys. Also, huge fucking shout out. I don't know. Liz is a subscriber, and we follow each other on Twitter. And she actually just, man, it was the sweetest thing ever. And I got to message her back. She bought me just happened to see, I think she's Irish. She found me through my Biffy Clyro reactions. And she, I'm trying to remember what exactly it is. A really nice a book, it's a travel guide, Road Trip Ireland, the ultimate guide to Ireland and the Atlantic Way. And I'm like, that's fantastic. She totally got that for me. It was so sweet. And I got to shoot her back a message and give her my information so I can get my new book that I'm totally going to fucking fall in love with and read and use it. I think useful is the way to go. The way to call that. It's the way to call that useful. And totally sweet. And you didn't need to do that, but you did. So thank you, Liz, so much. That's really, really awesome. I really can't believe you got me something. I can't believe it, if I'm being honest. But thank you. It really was just the sweetest thing in the world. And you know what I like? You know what I like? What the hell? Everything!